From her days as a teenage catalog model to overseeing boardrooms today, fans have seen Stephanie McMahon grow up in front of their very eyes. Stephanie made her WWE TV debut in 1998 as the innocent, bright-eyed daughter of Vince McMahon, which meant she quickly became a target. By the following year, Vince was feuding with top heel The Undertaker and his disciples, the Ministry of Darkness, who kidnapped Stephanie as leverage. And things only escalated from there, leading to Stephanie being tied to a cross in the shape of The Undertaker's insignia. With the dead man moments away from forcing her to marry him on an episode of Monday Night Raw, none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin ended up saving her. The Vince vs. Undertaker angle would ultimately be remembered less than fondly after Vince himself was revealed as the true mastermind behind the Ministry. Fans could only come to the uncomfortable conclusion that in the storyline, Mr. McMahon was ready and willing to marry off his only daughter against her will to an undead cult leader. Of course, Vince has been accused of even more heinous things in the years since. Stephanie soon moved on to an on-screen relationship with the wrestler Test. Their kayfabe wedding was interrupted by another wrestler feuding with Stephanie's father, Triple H. Then, of course, came the big swerve. Triple H showed a video of himself marrying a drugged and kidnapped Stephanie in Las Vegas. While Stephanie naturally appeared to hate the game at first, it all turned out to be a ruse. At the first Armageddon pay-per-view at the end of 1999, Triple H defeated Vince in a no-holds-barred match, after which the suddenly happy couple revealed that the whole thing had been their plan all along. Stephanie and Triple H, real name Paul Levesque, also began dating in real life. Many believe Triple H was cheating on his then-fiancée Chyna with Stephanie for as long as a year before they were discovered.
Supposedly, they weren't dating at that point.
Okay.
They had a house together and were trying to get out of the house or whatever.
After joining forces with Triple H, Stephanie became more prominent in WWE storylines. While her official in-ring debut came in a mixed tag match prior to her heel turn, her second match was for the WWE Women's Championship, which she shockingly won due to outside interference. With Triple H holding the WWE Championship, the two ruled WWE in what became known as the McMahon-Helmsley era, even reuniting with her father and brother after WrestleMania 2000. Stephanie held the belt for 140 days before losing to Lita in what was technically the first time women wrestled in the main event of Raw. It would prove to be her first and only title run in WWE, and she'd only wrestle a total of 24 matches up through 2018's WrestleMania 34. Stephanie McMahon is best known for her on-screen authority figure roles.
My character is really hateful. If you watch our show, like really hateful. I abuse my authority at every possible turn.
After WWE acquired rival promotion WCW in 2001, talent from both WCW and the also defunct ECW were used during the notorious Invasion angle. Stephanie's brother Shane McMahon was revealed to have purchased WCW while Stephanie was the owner of ECW, and together the siblings created the Alliance, planning to bankrupt their father and WWE. The cross-promotional faction was defeated at Survivor Series 2001, meaning Shane and Stephanie were banned from WWE. Stephanie returned in 2002 but was written off TV again after WrestleMania 18, following an angle that saw her divorce a newly babyface Triple H and align with his rival Chris Jericho. When McMahon returned to WWE just 4 months later, it was as the babyface general manager of WWE SmackDown. She also quickly began an on-screen feud with WWE Raw general manager Eric Bischoff, pitting the two brands against each other. Stephanie's tenure as general manager came to an end when Vince became resentful that his daughter wouldn't allow him to have an affair with Sable. This led to the controversial I Quit match between Vince and Stephanie at No Mercy 2003. Vince's wife, Linda McMahon, accompanied her daughter to the match and ultimately threw in the towel on Stephanie's behalf, resulting in her stepping down as SmackDown GM. The match with her father was largely an excuse to give Stephanie time off for her real-life wedding to Paul Levesque. In the years that followed, McMahon continued to make sporadic appearances on WWE programming, including her 2008 stint as WWE Raw General Manager, where she reignited her feud with Chris Jericho and faced the Legacy faction alongside the rest of her family. She also started her own family, giving birth to 3 daughters between 2006 and 2010.
We actually train around midnight, which is not the time we want to be training. It's just putting our kids to bed is really important to us.
Stephanie became more than just an on-screen authority figure, too. She was named Director of Creative Television in 2002, a position she held until 2006. She was named Senior Vice President of Creative Writing that year, then Executive Vice President of Creative Development and Operations in 2007, and Chief brand officer in 2013. She became so prominent as a corporate face of WWE that in 2020 she appeared as number 2 on Forbes' list of the world's most influential CMOs. By 2013, Stephanie McMahon and Paul Levesque had become real-life driving forces on the corporate side of WWE. Stephanie also became a regular TV character once again. Triple H, still a semi-regular performer at the time, had just turned heel, costing white-hot babyface Daniel Bryan the WWE Championship. Stephanie then defended her husband's actions, claiming Bryan wasn't good enough to be the face of the company. Together, the heel power couple, wielding their actual power within WWE's fictional world, became known as The Authority. They ruled WWE with an iron fist for more than 2 years. Stephanie even found herself in a feud with Bryan's real-life wife, Brie Bella. The Authority was disbanded in 2016 due to, what else, McMahon family drama. But Stephanie continued to appear occasionally as an on-screen authority figure. But then, reality hit. Stephanie announced in June 2022 that she was stepping away from WWE. It was only a few weeks later that her father announced his retirement from WWE after reports of sexual misconduct. Stephanie quickly returned and served as co-CEO alongside WWE President Nick Khan. In January 2023, however, Vince returned to the board and Stephanie stepped down as co-CEO and has not held an official position in the company since.